Steve is going to get right into my leg muscle.
That's big.
And pull out a bit of tasty thigh. So this is it. This is my cooked leg meat.
That's correct, yeah.
Can I have a smell?
Go for it, see what you think.
Yeah? Oh! Actually, that actually smells quite nice.
Is it really?
It's really meaty though.
Okay.
Like a lot richer than pork or chicken.
Very distinctive, yeah.
Blue Wolf and Friends presents Camp Here and There. Episode 57, Down to the Bottom of the River.
What?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Lucille, Christ, are you going to stop ignoring me yet? I thought maybe you'd answer because... I don't know. I guess I can't even expect that from you, huh? I know the owl was... I know. But you have to get over it, okay? There's something more important I need to talk to you about. Okay, get back to me.
Good morning, my beloved bushels of barberries. I hope everyone took care during my last ill-fated absence. Luckily, we have all successfully recovered from the rapid onset of the chronically wasting deer. Of the common cold, of course. The bends and twists in your limbs are all perfectly normal. Indeed, children, the common cold is known for morphing and twisting one's skeletal makeup until it feels as though you are best friends with the noble pretzel. So, if any of you start feeling a little naughty today, well, stay away from any large vats of boiling oil. Myself, well, I feel just fantastic. Really, couldn't be better. I am the screaming, sniveling picture of health. The time is 8:64 a.m. and the sky is glowing a delightful seafoam behind a blazing red sun, like the jiggly corners of a particularly froggy frog jello. And just our luck, too, because today is, as we've previously had to reschedule, the tragically belated Lake Day. Juno and Mila did just a fantastic job at de-necroglassing the eerily gelatinous waters. With their courageous efforts, the lake now sits pristine and unbothered by foolish flights of necromantic fancy. Now, Mila did say she couldn't help with lifeguard duty today due to her, foot. So, she'll be assisting Matthew in the kitchen instead. You heard that right, campers. Our very own Camper Matthew, who you all know and love. Chef Matthew, long may his reign of culinary ingenuity last, has been sorely absent from the concrete kitchen chamber ever since the destruction of his beloved soup pot. From what I've been told, he's taken a prolonged hiatus. According to the note tacked to the wall of the walk-in freezer, he is pursuing higher spiritual healing vis-a-vis the consumption and inhalation of Freon. But everyone give a warm welcome to head chef Matthew, Matthew's dark and fuzzy little apprentice in training. He's kept the kitchen extraordinarily tidy, if you ignore the alarming frequency of silk threads among the vats of boiling oil. It is such a delight to watch Matthew stare, unblinking with his red, bulging eyes, at the breakfast crowd from behind the serving window as he taps his spoon to the steel frame in a slow, repetitious motion. The only thing he loves more than a blue-boiled egg is making prolonged eye contact while you eat it. What a creative and modern approach to food service. However, breakfast today will be eaten in a pure, perverse darkness. Not for any evil reason, of course, but because Matthew tends to hover around the fluorescence, and we want his eyes on the prize. That is, giant boiling vats of oil. Thank you, Matthew. Lake Day. One of the more exciting days of the season. Those soggy mussels, those jelly shores, the crumple of a half-eaten pool noodle. Oh, campers, today is the day. Normally, my wheelhouse, sadly, does not involve the wide open waters. I don't like being submerged. Something about the light, floating abyss, that sweet absence of breath. It makes my skin crawl. Of course, there was the time I slipped in that ravine, but hey, I was just feeling a little quirky. And I was, as some of you may remember, famously banned from swimming for the entire 2014 season after an incident. The details of which are still tied up in arbitration with redacted legal counsel. I wonder if I could talk to Juniper about that, actually. But this year, I find myself unreasonably excited. There's a smell to Lake Day, a kind of dewy brine with a hint of wet elbow that always reminds me of coming alive after a prolonged sleep. It reminds me, too, of Jedediah, who I am happy to report has finally agreed to join us, despite his usual reluctance and the fact that he is, in his own words, a little washed up today. All this to say, participation in aquatic activities is not only encouraged, but mandatory. Unless you suffer from hydrophobia, heliophobia, or the toiled ailment of the spirit, in which case, see me in the nurse's office for a dose of boiling hot oil. And, as a final note for this morning, if any camper or staff sees Rowan, please report back. Okay, campers, today's breakfast is mothballs. Enjoy your meal, and I'll see you within the sodden expanse. Hi-ho, campers! Hello, my little froglets. Some people say to eat light before going for a swim, but I say you'll float easier if your body's already bloated. Not that I'm a bloat expert. That honor goes to the neighboring Camp Overwear, whose staff, minus Mavis, all believe in stuffing 3 meals back-to-back before any strenuous horseplay. Incorrigible, the lot of them, but adorable if you're a fan of slug behavior. Speaking of Camp Overwear, today the kids, formerly denizens of our humble abode, have joined us for a wonderful rousing bout of friendly aquatic challenges, led by their quaint, ever-attentive director Adam. Now, Jedediah loves sportsmanship the way he loves a needle to soft tissue. That is to say, it gives him an unidentifiable feeling resembling dread or perhaps obligation. When Adam suggested we all partake in a river-based competition, Jedediah's face went paler than milk in a snowstorm. So funny. Today's main event is the River Raft Rendezvous, or, if that's too much of a mouthful, you may refer to it as the Big Wet. Here's how it goes. 2 teams, each with a raft, and will partner up for one-on-one races, going down the river that slopes just into the lake. And I know I said I'm no fan of moist activities. Still, Adam made a very good point during his pitch. It's important that I try new things, challenge myself to step out of my comfort zone, and confront things that ruffle me. Otherwise, I'll completely stagnate in my journey to self-actualization. I think he's right. He sure is a good friend, isn't he, campers? And while it is uncomfortable, it's also thrilling. That's a good lesson, campers. Imagine it. Me on a raft. Oh, I hope I'm not too heavy. I admit, I'm quite excited for the whole thing. What's the worst that could happen? We'll all tumble in, catch an unidentifiable parasite or two, and if we're lucky, come back out with a new tail or an extra set of eyes. But Jedediah keeps trying to veto the idea. In the pitch meeting, he reminded us all of, quote, river statistics and the, air quotes, danger of waterborne brain eaters, which, to be fair, is a real threat around this part of Ohio, but who hasn't dealt with a bit of freshwater prions disease now and then? He's really pushy about it. But it's my decision to participate. And with one lifeguard incapacitated, the more adults around, the better, right? And I deserve to have fun too. Right? Well, for lunch, Matthew has scraped the lime scale from the empty swimming pool at the Southside bathhouse. No one goes out there anymore ever since that sea snake ate the... Ever since the sea snake... Well, you know. Anyways, eat well, campers, and I'll see you all at the River Raft Rendezvous. Oh my god, stop! I'll be fine.
It's not safe.
I thought you said you can't control me.
That doesn't mean you should jeopardize your safety on purpose.
God, it's swimming, Jedediah. What is this really about?
Nothing. Just... Adam is... Can you just not do it? For me. Just once. Please.
Why?
Just as a favor, okay? I don't think it's safe for you.
Why?
I can't explain it.
Cool.
Sydney, wait!
What? Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Christ, Lucille. Still not answering, huh? I think we need to do something about Sydney and that Adam creature. He's not going to hear it from me. I tried, and he won't talk to me now, even after I let up. He might listen to you, though. Maybe. Oh, Lord. Lucille, listen to me. You know better than anyone the magic that goes on here. He knows. Listen, Lucille, he knows. And Sydney thinks I don't notice the scars, but I do. I dreamt. I remember it so vividly. Every single detail. I never remember my dreams. Last night, it was heinous. I dreamt of a river, cutting through the dark with a silvery edge. I stood at the bank. Adam knelt in the shrubby grass across from me. The world was blue, a blue night like twilight. His eyes glow a bright cherry in the half-light as he cradles the bare body beneath him. Sydney's. You think you know a body, he says. But you and I, and even he thumbs Sydney's clavicle, haven't gotten to the meat of the matter yet. He lies Sydney awake down in the misty grass. The sight is stomach-turning. From across the river, I watch Adam lay his palms flat across Sydney's smooth chest. The skin here is thin, crinkling up at his lateral scars like the tissue of a goodie bag. Adam's eyes are glittering with anticipation. With a push, he rips his claws into Sydney's skin. The red of Sydney's hypodermis parts to either side, pulped with blue veins and steam. Adam's hands are delicate for all their size. He hooks 2 fingers under the rib cage. There's a wet, blunt crunch, and then he's pulling up bone. The body is exposed, lungs, heart, entrails, all salty and pink and puckered up at the cold. Sydney giggles. With a contented hum, Adam pulls out the liver, heavy and glistening like a river stone. He holds it to the sky as a blue shimmer plays across its surface. Next, lungs. He tears them from the cavity with a sound like wet paper. Sydney giggles so hard his teeth begin to chatter. With a lunge, Adam rakes his hands deeper into the viscera, coming away with pancreas, with coiled and bulging intestine. He drapes a throbbing string of bowels around Sydney's throat like a feather boa and laughs. And Sydney laughs with him, the sound high and thin like a party favor whistle. Adam picks a piece of lung and chews on it, then offers it across the body. Sydney howls out like a hyena. Adam continues. Sydney's hands flutter in the grass as Adam works. He fingers the edges of his own wound, and he presses against the plate of his own bone. He giggles. Oh, Christ. I am everywhere. A disjointed stare, omnipresent and swirling amongst the flitting, translucent cloud of vertigo. I try to wake. I try to wake up! But I am everywhere. I am in the bloody grass. I am in the river shine. I am in the breath leaking from Sydney's chewed lung. Adam keeps working, picking through the colors and textures, searching for the best cut in the stack. Sydney's hands flutter up, dragging along Adam's cheek, ruffle through his hair, then drop to the grass, twitching with nerves. Adam pulls up the heart last. He gives it a quick, juvenile squeeze. Sydney gasps. His pelvis jerks with a startled hiccup. Then he heaves a sigh and lays his head back. As he giggles in quiet, feathery gasps, Adam rolls the heart between his palms. He prods and squeezes, sort of like how you would feel for the ripe squish of a peach. Then he raises it to his lips and bites the apex off. The sound. You ever bite your knuckle and scrape your teeth against the knobby bone? And the grinding drag of your mouth echoes with a wet, blunt bludgeon all the way through the solids of your head. Sydney's laughter ramps into a crescendo. A piece of cartilage dangles from Adam's lip. Do you want to see what's left? I can't answer. Nausea spikes up from the back of my tongue. Adam bends low, whispers something into Sydney's ear, and kisses his temple before plunging his face into the cavity, trembling at the knees with the effort to plow through his entrails. When he's finished, he sits back and wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, sniffling from the hemoglobin gunked up in his nose. My poor Sydney. He spilled all over the grass. Adam turns to face me and tilts his head. How does this make you feel? Then Adam gives me a playful smile. I feel icy as he thumbs along Sydney's thighs. I call it Rorschach's gaping wound, he says. Sydney's barely coherent now, his eyes fluttering with fatigue and a languid gaze toward the water. Adam wraps his arms under the body, then heaves to a stand. His eyes stay locked on me, his stare a glower as he walks toward the shallows. The water is stilled, reflecting the blue of the night sky, and dotted with tiny white stars. With Sydney in his arms, he lets the water run to his feet, then to his legs as he wades further in. When the water reaches his hips, he lowers Sydney gently toward the surface. The river pools into his open chest, flowing down the cavity and around his dazed face. Sydney's eyes widen with fright just as Adam pushes him beneath the ripple. The water bubbles and swells, frothing at Adam's arms. There's a hint of struggle, but with his entrails pooling in a dark cloud among the waves, he can't amount to much. The trembling ebbs, but the water doesn't quite still. My tears puddle ripples on the surface. With a grin, Adam winks the eye not soaked in blood. Who are you going to tell, Mr. Martin? I don't know the last time Something, please, Mom.
Evening, campers. Righteous ripples to all my foam-fingered friends. It's 19:10 p.m., and the sky has settled into a mirthy red, as if the blazing scarlet suns expanded to swallow the vast expanse. Lake Day was, well, it was something, wasn't it, campers? River Raft Rendezvous went off without a hitch at first. cabin grasshopper absolutely demolished cabin dung beetle, and I must say, watching little gopher paddle with the ferocity of a frothing beaver was truly inspiring. Juniper, unfortunately, seemed a bit too on edge to participate this year. It's a shame, too, because Lake Day is his favorite seasonal activity. But instead of taking a load off and flopping around, he just kept glancing towards the far slope. But Juno did a fantastic job keeping watch from the banks, even if she did spend most of her time staring at that one-tooth flower. I get it, though. The saliva did smell like boiling hot oil. And no one minded the Dubious Creature watching us from the woods. Thank you for keeping us company, Dubious Creature. Then came my turn. Oh, campers, my turn was... exhilarating is the word I'll use. Adam and I were raft partners. He insisted, actually, since it would be more comfortable to pair up with someone I know well. Jedediah tried to stop us, but I mean, who's actually allowed to intercept a bit of fun between two adults? And we started off beautifully. The current was gentle at first, just a little tug and pull, like being rocked about in a creaky cradle. Adam sat behind me, calling out paddling instructions just past my neck. Left, right, harder, Sydney. Very encouraging, very inspiring. But then we hit the bend where the river narrows before it opens into the lake. That spot where the water gets all frothy and aggressive. Left, Adam called out. But we really should have gone right. The raft jerked with a violent, vigorous shake that sent my stomach swinging. The world tilted sideways, and then we were spinning in this a whirlpool just inside the lake. The water grabbed us with greedy little fingers and pulled us into its spiraling maw. Round and round and round we went, the sky and trees blurring into a nauseating carousel of color. My fingers dug into the handles so firmly I thought my knuckles would burst through my skin. The raft bucked beneath us like a living, braying bowl. Water sprayed up in sheets, freezing cold, filling my mouth when I tried to call out. The sound of its motion, this roaring, gurgling chunter, drowned out everything else. My heart was buzzing in my ribs. Oh, the terror! It seized me by the throat and pinched tight. Every rotation brought us closer to the center, to that dark, sucking void at the heart of the whirlpool. I could see down into it. Down, down, down into the depths of the downdraft abyss. It was beautiful, in a way. The swirling drift thrummed with a majestic sort of pulse, almost like the beating soul of the lake. Falling under there, I'd no doubt be trammeled into suffocation. But, and here's the strange part, campers, it was also invigorating. Yes, my skin felt electric. For those few moments spinning in that watery vortex with Adam's laughter ringing in my ears and his hands gripping at my shoulders till his nails drew blood, I felt it. I felt... I was there, campers. I was all there. Adam was laughing the whole time. Can you believe that? Laughing and guffawing and howling like it was the most fun he'd ever had. I don't think I'd ever seen him like that. And then, Jedediah was watching from the bank and immediately panicked. He started screaming, waving his arms, and running along the shore. Before I knew it, before Adam could paddle us out of the whirlpool, Jedediah had shoved Juno to her feet, pulled out his phone, and was running towards administration. Within minutes, Lucille came storming down to the lake in her golf cart, blaring her horn, and immediately shut down the entire event. Lake Day was canceled. Quick as that. She didn't even wait for Adam to navigate us out of the whirlpool, which he was doing, by the way. We were fine. Juno couldn't even grab the rescue squid before he'd paddled us to safety. But no, Jedediah had to involve Lucille. And now, because of his overreaction and his inability to let me have one afternoon of fun, Lake Day has been terminated early, and everyone has been sentenced to cabin time for the rest of the night. And I'm confined to the nurses' building for the night. So saith Lucille. It was the first time anyone's seen Lucille in days. And it was, too. God, I'm not made of glass, but he sees me as this delicate little thing that needs to be wrapped up in cotton and, oh, stop looking at me like that, Jetty. This is all your fault. If you even remotely trusted me, you'd know we were fine and... Dinner is whatever you can scavenge tonight, campers. Matthew was last seen drifting serenely toward the moon with large, soulful eyes, so unless you can lasso him back, it's a fend for yourself kind of evening. Oh, and, we are doing the talent show this year. Bye. Hey, thanks for waiting for me.
Certainly, dear.
Jedediah's asleep. Man, sneaking out the bathroom window feels shitty.
How so? There you go. Easy now.
It's unbecoming.
A little.
It's not like I'm 25.
It is unbecoming.
But I'm glad that you and I get some time together. I need the relief.
He's quite fickle, isn't he? One moment you're apt to make your own choices, the next you've overextended the privilege.
That's because it's a privilege to begin with.
Indeed.
How am I supposed to argue that?
You have tried valiantly to reason with him. And look how he's rejected you.
It's just frustrating.
Understandably so.
I mean, what can I even do?
Besides sneak out?
All of this, it isn't sustainable.
Lend me your hand. You could kill yourself. Perhaps as a final exercise. It's a choice only you can make, and it frees you from the burden. What do you want?
Jedediah.
And?
Today's episode of Camp Here and There was written and directed by Blue Wolf. The role of Sydney Sargent was performed by Blue Wolf. The role of Jedediah Martin was performed by Voicebox Vance. The role of Up and Adam was performed by Dio Garner. With original music composed by Will Wood and produced by Jonathan Maisto. Additional music composed by Kyle Gabler and Another You. Dialogue editing by Emily Safko. Audio engineering by The Leo. Sound design by Blue Wolf and Another You. And a special thanks to patrons for making this possible. Special thanks to Elle Mueller, Zephyr, and Under a Static Skyla. To join them and to get behind-the-scenes content like bloopers, development notes, early access to episodes, interactive events, and more, visit the Patreon at patreon.com/bluewolf. You can also join the official Discord server to connect with fellow listeners and discuss the latest episode. Find the link in the description of today's episode. And finally, if you'd like to support the show and ensure we can keep going, the most meaningful thing you can do is to help spread the word. Thank you for listening to Camp Here and There, and remember, the shining star above, the self below.